Yeah, it's funny you're talking about Deep Purple. You know that I played. They came to San Antonio when I was about 17 to play their first show in the States, and Ritchie Blackmore got a reaction to a flu epidemic vaccine that they all took coming into the country to try to prevent them getting sick. And they played the Pussycat Club, where I was a 1,000-seater, where I was kind of well known as a local musician. And Ritchie couldn't play that night, and they decided that they didn't want to cancel the show because they felt it would look bad for the press. So John opted. So the promoter, who I knew, who was a good friend of mine, said, there's this local guitar player. My real name is Geppert. It's not Cross. It's Chris Geppert. And he said, I know this kid in town, Chris Geppert, and he's a big fan of Ritchie's, and he knows a lot of your tunes, and he could, sit in. So I actually played for Deep Purple at this show.
You gotta love it.
And we did a set of the tunes I knew, and then we ended up just jamming some blues. And I mean, they told the audience, Ritchie's not here, and if you want to leave, about 80% of the people stayed. And then we played this set, and the next day, a few days later, when they left San Antonio, Ritchie felt better. I saw him at the airport, and he gave me his pick, and he said, yeah, they said you did a good job, and sitting in it, whatever. And that was a huge thrill. And the funny thing is, I've never seen any of them since, but Edel Records, who is my European record company, works with John Lord still, and releases records of John's and maybe Deep Purple. And so I keep up and I'll run across John one of these days and kind of remind him of this story, because he probably wouldn't remember. But yeah, it was a big thrill for me. That was in late 60s or 70s. So I had a lot of really wonderful kind of experiences like that when I was younger. Getting to be around some big groups. We did about 7 shows opening for Led Zeppelin, and so I got exposure kind of early on when I was quite young to some of the big acts. And of course, Billy Gibbons, ZZ Top was the first group that I knew who broke out. He had a band called Moving Sidewalk, and they opened for Hendrix, and Jimmy really got to be good. Billy got to be friends with Jimmy, and they kind of got some momentum going, and then they changed the name to ZZ Top, and then they had a big album. But Billy was the first one to kind of break out, and actually have an album and be successful, and that was cool. And they've had a long, great career.
Yeah, they have.
There were other artists like Willie Nelson, obviously, who was a big star. But in my group of guitarist kind of people, like I said, Billy was the first one to sort of make it big. He's had such a great career. I mean, he's a big influence on my guitar playing, but he's got such a great sense of humor, and he's always done authentic blues, but always done something fun too. I mean, a lot of the songs are silly, and it's great.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw them the other night. I saw a thing on TV. They were playing Nokia just not too long ago. They were great. They're still at it.